Good evening and welcome back to ESC Fan TV. It's a Sunday. We're still doing Melodifestivalen, so you know what that means. It's a Melfest Sunday. Woohoo! Week 5. We now know all 12 acts that will compete in Friends Arena next weekend, all wanting to be Sweden's representative at Eurovision 2022. But we're going to talk about the semi-final, the 4 that advanced, the 4 that sadly went home, and was it the right 4 who went through from their 2 semi-finals? But before we start any of that, of course, my name is Elliot and I am hosting tonight. Yes, Stuart has given me full control of talking and leading this. I don't know why. He's a madman. But let's go to my co-host because he will be in the chat room pushing all the buttons for me, thankfully. It's Stuart. How are you, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you for asking. For everyone who is not aware, I wasn't due to be on tonight's show, so I've managed to find 5-10 minutes to come and join, and I'm sure you do a wonderful job. Thank you for having me, and look forward to talking about 2 fantastic semi-finals.
Yes, yeah, unfortunately, Gustav has had to drop out due to health, so we wish you all the best, Gustav, because we know that you'll be watching. We're sending our love all the way to Stockholm, but Stuart has kindly stepped in your place. And from one part of Sweden, let's go to another. It's Malmö. It's Jeanette. How are you, Jeanette?
Woo! I'm doing great. What a night we had yesterday. So many good songs and some surprise finalists. So it was really exciting. We're going to have a great show tonight.
And we're going to go from Sweden to a country who will be paying attention to Sweden, not only because she loves Sweden, but also because they're in their semi-final in Eurovision. Belgium with Alina.
Hello, guys. I'm so looking forward for tonight. I have alcohol. I have my PJs. I mean, everything is good.
And finally, of course, he's always here. We have Sean, who is going to Melodifestivalen next weekend as well, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait. And last night's show was immense. And what a final we're going to have. I just cannot wait. So excited.
Brilliant. So like I said, and if you're in the chat room, please drop us a comment, show up on the screen, give him some company because he's coming at last minute, make him feel a bit of love, and make sure you like this show. Leave us comments even if you're watching it live or watching it on demand. We really do appreciate it. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button so you never miss a single show that we do. And trust me, we've got a lot coming up this coming week. A lot. But let's jump into last night. 8 songs became 4, and so much padding that I think it could rival a drag queen in between those announcements. Like, how many of those Hall of Fame songs did we have in the end? Was it 3, 4, 5? I lost count. I lost count.
Everyone's in Hall of Fame in Sweden. Isn't it like that?
It was getting to that. I mean, the amount of airtime we give this show, yes. And I think at the end, Oscar was such a just let Arvingana hosted it because they keep turning up. I think they got paid every time they appeared on camera last night because you couldn't get rid of them.
No.
But let's move on to semi-final 1. So we had Tone, Danne, Alvaro, and Anna competing for 2 spots. I must admit, I quite enjoy this new format. I understand why the artists said they didn't like the duels and why this format has been brought in. I think it was quite refreshing. So we're going to start with the 2 eliminated acts together, which was unfortunately Danne and Alvaro Estrella. Alina, let's come to you first. What was it about these 2 songs which you think just made them fall out last night? Because it's done by the app vote, and we don't know how close this vote even was last night.
I mean, I don't know because everyone knows that I loved Alvaro, his song. I'm still not over it. I'm so Sweden, why? I don't get it. Why? I have found my new shower song. I mean, it's so good. Why? Oh, no, I'm not on the same page with Sweden yesterday.
Don't worry, you can still dance about it in your shower on Spotify, I'm sure. You know, that still lives on. It's fine. So, Jeanette, a big thing I want to point out is that last night, 2 of the acts that beat them in their respective semi, they were from the same heat, and the act that came 4th in that heat beat the act that came 3rd. An example of this is Alvaro and Tone. What was the difference last night that made Alvaro get eliminated? Because I was quite surprised because he got a lot of votes across the app in his heat. So I thought he was sort of a dead cert to advance.
Yeah, I was pretty sure, or I was hoping that he would advance. So I was a bit surprised too, because we do like a Latina song in the final. That's a given. But Tone is bringing something else, something new, something fresh. She's a lovely person. So I think a lot of people really like her, and she got a lot of votes. What can I say? It was great. I feel sorry for Alvaro. I did like him. So I wish I could just give some extra points and just pick and throw some people away. But I can't. It's people deciding, so we have to go with the flow.
2023, Jeanette's Melodifestivalen, coming soon.
Only
Be a very
Eric Saab
different
is
show.
competing, nobody else.
Stuart, let's come to you. So obviously, as I said, Danny and Alvaro missed out. Alvaro got a lot of love on our show when he first advanced. Danny, not so much. So are you surprised these were the two that dropped out? Because I was to an extent.
No, God, no. They're the worst songs of the semi-final by an absolute country mile. So let me just talk about Latino songs in Swedish heats, or in fact in Danish heats, or in Norwegian heats, or in any Scandinavian heats. Elliot, no one ever bloody votes for them. That's the problem with them. They always fall short. They always fall short. What is the point anymore? I'm losing the will to live. Stop sending Latin songs to Eurovision National Finals, people, unless you're in Spain. Got it? Good. That's what I had to say. Just on Danny, I actually like the song. I think it's quite cool. I think it probably looked quite dated last night when you consider that Tony and Anna's song were quite modern and had a huge amount of appeal and a lot of people rooting for both of those. I suspect Danny finished third and I think Alvaro finished fourth, because whilst Suave is pretty decent, it was going nowhere.
Okay, so Sean, I'm going to come to you now. And I saw you put a face there about Danny, and I know you're not the biggest fan of this song. But like I said, it did feel going into the heat, it was a 3-horse race between Anna, Tone, and Alvaro. And I personally couldn't call who was going to get kicked out. Were you surprised it was Alvaro?
No, because Tone and Anna, I think they were off the scale last night. Gosh, Stuart, have you been on the Pro Plus or something? My gosh, the Pro Plus and the Red Bull. I think, to be honest, I disagree with Stuart in saying I think Danny would have been last. Hallabaloo is Hullabapoo. Definitely Alvaro. I think the problem with these Latin songs and Suave, it's not quite as good as Banger Banger. And we've seen it all before, time and time again. I agree with Stuart on that point. It is getting a bit, let's leave it next year, please. Melfest producers, leave the Latin songs out of it just for 1 year. Just for 1 year. Give us the rest of it.
No, it's not happening.
I think the right two went through, definitely.
See, you say that, but as you said, Melodifestivalen and Norway every year put in a Spanish song wrote by Andres Verhul or Angela Storn Johansson because it's variety. Happens every year. So just accept it now. It may not be Alvaro, but it'll be someone. Someone will come. Probably Mendes. Oh, God.
But
There's a thought.
if we played it with the thought that Alvaro would have been in semi-final 2, would he have gone through then? I think so. I think that was the weaker semi-final.
Probably. Of course you're going to send him through because he's good looking and he can move and he can sing. But you're not going to bloody vote for him in the final. What's the point? What's the point anymore?
Just 5 votes yesterday. That says it all.
So before we move on to the two winners of this this semi-final, obviously they did it a bit different. They did the draw live on SVT on Tuesday morning, and I must admit I did quite enjoy them doing it. A sort of Eurovision style of drawing the number, then the semi-final, and they had it was like Christmas like disco balls, and poor Oscar doing his best job for doing it. But I actually quite liked the way they actually drew it. It seemed a lot more fairer and a lot less produced. There was no producer manipulation because you can't, manipulate what number Oscar's going to pick out of a hat. Do we actually prefer this going forward, that the 8 are drawn randomly, and so it gives everyone sort of a fair shot of where they land?
I didn't know that they'd done that.
Yeah,
I think definitely when you get to this stage in the competition, you've got 8 great songs anyway, so surely running order shouldn't matter that much. So, yeah, perfect, great.
Yeah, the heats were drawn live. I think the running order was still done by the producers, but it was still good having them drawn randomly because they gave them all a fair shot. Right, let's move on to the two that won last night. We'll take these one at a time because they deserve it. They're now in the final. And let's start with Tone Sekelius, the first transgender artist ever to compete in Melodifestivalen, and she's made it all the way to the final. Amazing for her, I must say, first and foremost, on the Melodifestivalen debut. And it is also a record for Anders Thorhall. He's got all 4 of his entries into the final. The first time a songwriter has got 4 or more songs into the final since Shemper in 2014. Quite a skill, and say very well done to Anders. So Tone came back with a new dress, some added pyro, changed a few of the colours in her stage show. Jeanette, you weren't the biggest fan of the song in the semi-final, but did she step it up for you last night to warrant her space in that final for you?
She really did step it up. The dress was so much better. I really liked the red dress. And she did look gorgeous. Look at the long legs. I wish I had them. Mine is short and chubby, so well. But I'm not so keen on the song. But it's not really for me. I think it's like a bit boring, but I do get the statement. She's gorgeous. And it's great to have her in the final. I'm really happy about it. It's time to just open up. Everyone is welcome. That's how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean, as we said, she's the first transgender artist. Clearly her being here alone is a statement in itself, as say we spoke about on our last show. She's in the final. She's got a cracking voice. Has she got all the hallmarks for, in the future, a Melodifestivalen winner for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't count her out this year either, to be honest, because that performance last night was off the scale, and that dress, wow. Thank you, Stuart, for lending it her.
How did you know?
With the cameras.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't resist.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Obviously, Alina, as we said, she's got great legs. She's gorgeous. She does all these wonderful things. What more can she do in the final? Because I say she stepped it up from the semi-final, from the heat to the semi-final, but now she's got to do another step up, potentially in the final, to maybe go all the way and represent Sweden. What can she do from this point? Like, get a new dress, get bigger heels? I don't know.
Maybe find a little bit more of a better song, because I mean, it's a nice song, it's beautiful, but it's so boring after like a minute because it's constantly stronger, bigger. I mean, it's so like, yeah, I don't like it so much. Like, no, don't hate me.
I'm with you, Elena. Totally.
It's so boring.
The song is too boring, and she's too good for the song. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, need a better song. Yeah.
Okay, and Stuart, just to wrap up, is that the case? Is it a case of like Tone could come back and be a real contender with a better song? Because obviously she's won over the public this year. A lot of people may have looked at her story and being a trans artist, not fully understanding, saying being as open-minded about people within the LGBT world, and this is a thing that happens, and a song that's clearly very personal to her. But she's won them over last night in a very tough semi-final. So is this a case of like Clara last year, where she's now won over those who may be a bit unsure? She could do some damage in the final. Maybe.
I mean, I think when you first hear the song, unless you really take in the message behind the song, I'm not sure you could argue it's a great song, because I think from a melody perspective, you heard it before. It's quite generic, but the actual message behind the song is incredible, and it's a phenomenal debut for Tone. Is it Tony? Tone? I don't want to be disrespectful. Is it Tony?
It's pronounced Tone.
Tone. Thank you very much.
But she's also said in an interview she likes the word. She chose that name because it says Tone, and because of her musical background, she liked how it sounded in English. So
thank you for clearing that up. No, I'm in awe. Actually, I think she looks absolutely stunning on stage. As someone who's worn high heels, I absolutely take my hat off to all women in the world for doing that, because it is incredible what you women do on a daily basis. But I have to say, the staging of this particular song is phenomenal. She sounds incredible on stage. She's very graceful. She's beautiful. She's note perfect. I think she's going to do really well in the final. Actually, interestingly, in the semi in the heats now we're calling them that she was in, she was beaten by Alvaro, so quite clearly she's edging up now. So I think this is a top 5. I really do. I think this is going to do really well next week. I don't think she's going to win. I think there are better songs in the contest, but I wouldn't write this out, and she could come back in the future. Potential Swedish Eurovision entrant for me. Well done, Tone. Fantastic debut.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump in, like I said, because I wasn't here on that show when we discussed her in her heat. It was my favourite of the 8 last night. I've loved this song from first listen. I love her. I think she sings phenomenally. And last night she was just more confident. She was more confident. She was smiling more. She looked at the camera a bit more. And, you know, you can't go wrong with a bit of pyro on that big note as well. And she was, again, note perfect. And it's just a joy to watch her perform. I love watching her perform. And the song, you know, is it a bit basic? Yes. But it's a bloody catchy earworm, but it gets in your head and it stays there for a while. And I think that's its appeal. It stays in your head. Like, you can't help but know it, even if you don't want to, unfortunately. Stuart, what the chat room saying about Tone? Are they sharing the love that she's advanced to the next week's final?
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody there would doubt her a place in that final. I think she definitely deserves a place in the final. And yeah, I think everyone's kind of getting into the swing of things tonight, chatting along to what we're saying. Some people agree, some people don't agree. There's someone in the comments somewhere that said that I think that was probably more your dress than mine, Sean. But anyway, I'll find that later. Back to you, Elliot.
Perfect. I can see at the minute there are 270 of you watching us live. Firstly, thank you. But secondly, hit the like button, comment, give Stuart some company. We want to know your thoughts. Did the right four advance? There are no bad or wrong opinions. They're all valid, and we're just a bunch of Eurovision fans talking for the sake of it because we love this contest and Melodifestivalen. So come join the fun. It's great. We have cookies. Come join us. Now, moving on to our second finalist, and maybe some people thought this wasn't in any doubt, but it was maybe a shock she was there to even begin with. It is Sweden 2010 entrant Anna Bergendahl. Yep, she was back with her big hat, the horses on the LED. She had some smoke and some lights underneath her big lights, so she kind of looked like she was on top of an air fryer at points. Did find that funny, but she is through. She is through to the final with higher power. I'm going to give Sean a minute because I think I've just broken with that joke. So I'm going to move on to Alina instead. Are we happy Anna is once again back in the final, keeping her perfect record so far on Melodifestivalen and making the final?
Of course. I mean, I want to see Anna back at Eurovision. I'm living for that moment. But I don't know if I want her to go with this song. Like, I love Anna, everything she does. I think it's most of all amazing. Still hate the hat. But I love the song, but it's not higher power. Oh no, Kingdom Come. I'm sorry. Woo! I'm getting too much alcohol for this show. Like, whoo!
Nah, don't stop. It's funny. Jeanette, obviously, you have the most power out of any of us next week because you can actually vote in Sweden. Does this song stand out enough to win? Will this be given a place to stand out? Because for me personally, it sounds like it's going to be put in slot 2 or 3 next week, which are kind of like your filler spots in the Melfest final. When you have like a mid-tempo or a ballad, which isn't going to win, you slot it there, and then you have like a big contender go right after it. Do we see that happening with Anna next week? Because I still don't think the song is there. She's perfect, but the song is a no for me.
Yeah, the song is not as good as Ashes to Ashes or Kingdom Come. I've said that before. It's still a good song. But it's the wrong year. She should have had Kingdom Come this year, and then I think she might have won. So I feel a bit sorry for her. Timing is everything. I can't stand the dress. The only good thing about the hat is when she flips it off. That's the only thing. She should change the outfit completely. Maybe bring in some dancers because it's just her, and it needs a little bit like oomph. Just a little bit more. Good song. It's not going to win. I'm sure of it. Top 5. Yeah. I love her. She's great. Great voice. Amazing. Love it.
Okay. And Sean, obviously, you're going to be seeing this next week live. We know you're a big Anna fan, so you're going to try. But as Jeanette said, what from a televote perspective, what did she have to do to make herself a contender? Because she sings note perfect. So I'm sure juries will respect that and give her some votes. But as we keep saying, she really does pander to this sort of like 60 plus age range, especially when these sort of country songs like Ashes to Ashes. What has she got to do to make herself, a top 5? Maybe not even win, but cause enough damage to maybe impact who wins.
I think they need to do something with the staging, don't they? Just like Elena Internet has said. It's the air fryer comment, brilliant, by the way.
She looks like she's on top of an air fryer. I'm sorry. When the light went gold, it looked like she was on top of the air fryer.
And the costume needs to go. I'm not a fan of the costume. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the staging. Apart from the big circle with a small crown here, that's quite effective. But yeah, bring some dancers on. In Kingdom Come, the dancers were phenomenal and they just popped out of nowhere and just really quite powerful and exciting. And you've got nothing here, obviously, apart from Anna herself, who's fantastic doing all that. She looks a bit like Nikki off Big Brother. Is she?
It's kung fu dancing.
So yeah, well, whatever. But there is something missing, and it's not a winner this time around. And I'm gutted for it, and I really want to see Melfest and give that Eurovision stage another crack. But I don't think she's going to do it with this song. She might come close again, but I don't think she'll win this.
And Stuart, firstly, what the chat room's saying, and secondly, as we said, she's a star. She has star power. The writing team has star power. What is lacking in the song? And if she is to come back next year, what does she need to do to win? Because she's got unfinished business with Eurovision, but it's looking quite clear she won't make it this time.
No. Okay, let's address the first point. So the chat room are saying that they love Anna, but I don't think there's anyone in that chat room that I can see is saying that this is the song that's going to win her Melodifestivalen this year. And I'll echo that, actually. I love Anna to bits. I've had the privilege of interviewing her. I've had the privilege of meeting her and seeing her in concert. And she really is a superstar. She really is. And I think that the trouble is that Melodifestivalen artists, or Swedish artists in general, get really stuck on or get caught up in this must-do Melodifestivalen every year cycle. And the problem is somebody's got to be your critic. Someone's got to be in the ear to say, this is not the one. Because there will come a point in time, like we see with people like Linda Bensing, where they just are at a point where they just will not progress into that final. There's just a block there because the song is just okay to good. It's never great. And I don't want Anna to become another Linda Bensing. And then, by the way, that's a terrible way to reference because Linda Bensing is a wonderful performer and singer. But I'm just using that as an example of someone who hasn't been in the final for a long time now. And I hate when I see performers like that. Another example with Mohombi, when he performed in 2019. Loved the song. I thought the staging was incredible. The next year brings Winners. And whilst it got to the final, it was nowhere near as good. And I just think at times you've got to be more self-aware and also aware of what you can deliver with a particular song. This is a very competent song. I love the country vibe, but it's mid-tempo. It just sadly doesn't go anywhere. It stays pretty middle of the road throughout the entire record. And say what you want about the staging, I actually think they've done the best they can with it. I really do. Good song, sounds great when you listen to it on a streaming service. When you see it live, you recognise the phenomenal vocal from Anna Bergendahl, but sadly, it just lacks that cutting edge to take it to a win, and it's not the year for Anna.
Yeah, unfortunately, we all seem to be in agreement with that, unfortunately. But we love Anna, so keep coming back. But make sure you bring your A game next year because we want you back at Eurovision, no doubt about it. But not your time, unfortunately. Right, that is semi-final 1 done. And before we move on to semi-final 2, I just want everyone on my panel and my chat room to have something in the back of their head because before we finish the show, I want to know everyone's personal winner for Melodifestivalen and who do we think's going to win. We'll come back to this after we discuss semi-final 2, so I'm going to give you a bit of time to think about this because I'm nice like that. I won't give you 30 seconds like Tom. I'll give you a bit of time. But who you think's going to win a Melodifestivalen and who do you want to? And I only want one name for each. None of this sitting on the fence for 3 or 4 names, one name for each. But right, let's crack on semi-final 2. So we have Theoz, Cassie, Lillasyster, and Lisa. And unfortunately, we lost Lisa and Lillasyster. Now, Lisa was a big shock because she was so close to advancing to the final, and then she fell short. I said I could not see a situation where she wouldn't make to the final. Clip that now because I was wrong. I'll admit that. But Stuart, you loved Lisa, and obviously Lillasyster was very decent as well. What happened with Lisa last night? Like, sure, on paper, she was a dead cert to advance.
Yeah, well, like a dead cert. What was her song in 2012? Only the dead fish follow the stream. This, unfortunately, was one dead fish. Sadly, it was, again, middle of the road. And against Som du Vill and I Can't Get Enough, both up-tempo bops, whether you like them or not, this, sadly, just struggled. It was great, but not good enough to make that leap to advance. It's kind of a bit like Anna's song, although Anna's maybe got a bit more star appeal. It's nice to listen to. It really is. It's a good song. It's well written, but there's not a lot going on stage. It's a nice backdrop. There's a few people running around in roller skates and whatnot behind her. But hey, that's not going to make a Eurovision winner. Certainly isn't going to make a Melodifestivalen winner. Love Lisa Miskovsky. I love her voice. I love the way she performs. But she's very static. She's very static in 2012. She was very static again last night and the week before. Yeah. No, unfortunately, that I think was the reason.
Yeah. And for Lillasyster, obviously, it's the second year in a row they've lost in this semi-final under Johnson. What more do they have to do to make the final? Because clearly there's appeal there. Alina, let's come to you on that, because you're our rock chick. You love a bit of rock and Lillasyster. So what do they have to do to make this final?
I don't know. I was so shocked and disappointed that they weren't through. Like, oh, lie. Like, they would be so perfect in the final. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Maybe stick more to their previous song, but honestly, I don't know.
Okay, and I've just seen in our personal chat, Stuart has said Lillasyster are a bit beige compared to last year. Stuart, feel free to jump on that comment, but also going to come to Jeanette as well. Do you agree with Stuart there? I'll let you just go back and forth.
Do you mind if I just make a comment? I mean, I loved Lillasyster last year. I thought the staging and song was amazing. I loved the snake coming out and hitting you in the face. I mean, you appreciate a snake coming out and hitting you in the face, Elliot. But I just found this year's song very beige. I thought it was, again, I come back to my point earlier. I kind of feel like someone said, we got this song for you. It's kind of cool. It's a rock song. Would you like to do it? And they've gone, yeah, we'll do it. We want to be back in Melodifestivalen, without actually listening to it. It was a very beige, generic rock song for me. Nothing special, nothing great. I would have waited a year because they needed something that was a bit more hard and punchy. That's what they delivered last year. That's why they made the final. They had nowhere to go with this. It was almost borderline Schlager pop rock. That's what it was. Very bland, very beige.
Okay, Jeanette, do you think that's what's happened? Do you think they've sort of jumped at being given a song? Like I said, do you think they needed to wait, or do they think like they need to enter Melodifestivalen? Because I have to agree, it was very tame for Lillasyster. I was disappointed. But do you think that's the problem? People feel like they have to do it because it's such a big show. It's such like free promotion in Sweden. They have to do this show like whenever they get the chance, instead of going, no, I'll wait a year because it may not come back round.
I really don't know. I just don't need them in Melodifestivalen at all. It was a shit song for me. I feel nothing for it. It was just like, erase yourself. I don't want to see you. Oh, go off stage. No, I thought it was really, really bad. Someone else could have had that spot. There's been plenty of songs that were lots better than this. And this semifinal too was a really weak semifinal. Not good at all. And if we go back to Lisa, come on, she's a great artist in Sweden, quite famous. But the song, oh my God, I could fall asleep to it. Staging, fine, but the song, 3 minutes of pain. Oh my God, I just need to go and pee 10 times. No. It's a big no. Both of them. Go home, stay home, do whatever you want, don't come back. No, that's all I'm saying. Sorry.
To be honest, I actually fell asleep during Lisa's song.
You see, that's what I'm saying. It was a snooze fest. No, it's like rock the cradle, make the baby fall asleep. Yes. Nope. Sorry.
Jeanette, never change in your damning with faint praise critiques. I love them so much. Never change.
Honest. Someone has to be honest. I love all artists. I love Melodifestivalen. I love Eurovision. But when it's crap, you have to say it's crap. That's how it is.
And that's why we're here, guys. We're just real Eurovision fans with real, honest opinions, and they're real valid. Sean, like, okay, we know that you loved Lisa, but there seemed to be a bit of a hubris with these two titles. Until our days are over, well, they are for Lillasyster for this year, and the best to come from Lisa. I guess not. Like, what went wrong apart from changing from this busker train station outfit, which fit with her staging, to what I can describe as a beige glittery potato sack? Like, what was that? It was horrible last night. I'm sorry. It looks tacky and cheap. I'm sorry, Lisa. You're a great singer. The song's nice. The dress was awful.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, the best to come maybe next year. I don't know. It certainly wasn't this year. Great staging, to be fair. The subway thing, I think it kind of worked, apart from when someone walks through it with an umbrella. But if you're underground in a subway station, why would you need an umbrella? I don't know. And Lillasyster, just too shouty, isn't it? Sorry. I thought the eyes were going to pop out of his head at one point.
Someone showing their age.
Yeah, not good.
No, I think the worst two songs of the
worst to come.
The worst to come. And our days are screwed. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh dear. So I think we can say we're in agreement, all bar Alina, that the right two went through last night in this semi-final. Alina's on her own. Fine, we'll find out which one she thinks she got the boot in a minute. But let's start with the lovable, adorable 16-year-old Theoz. Yes, the kid who got referenced in Samir and Victor's Shuffler back in 2018. He's now Melodifestivalen himself. Looks like he's been handpicked from the 1990s in his all in his all purple outfit, whilst his backing dancers look like the most fashionable street dancing prison people I've ever seen. They literally look like they've done like the prison talent show and then ran on stage. But as I said, this was cool, this was funky, had a bit of pyro this time. Alina, like, there was never really in doubt. Like, his confidence at 16, it's amazing. Like, and I wasn't shocked from this advance last night at all.
He's one of my favorites, and I'm so happy that he is going to the final. And he's also so cute. Like, if I was 16 or like 15, I would have so a crush on him. But I think his performance yesterday was worse than his performance in the semi-final. Is that me? I don't know, but yeah.
It's you.
Sorry, I'm alone again. But no, it's so cute. And I don't know. Actually, I want the song to actually go to Eurovision, but he's too young for Eurovision, I think. So it wouldn't work. Like, if it was Eric Saade, it would be another story. But I mean, I have to throw him in the conversation,
Yes. Always mention Eric Saade in every show.
Every show, we have to like...
Look at Elliot.
Jeanette and Alina just mentioned Eric Saade. Drink if you're following along at home. Seriously, we could make a drinking game out of these Melfest Sundays and our other shows, the stuff we say. I'm going to get that commission next year, Stuart. It's going to happen, just so you know. I need something to do in my spare time. Sean, Theoz, like you said, he's bouncing around the stage. He's off the other stage. He's back to the other. He says about Son de Ville about 50 times, so it gets stuck in your head. Stuart, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
And the wheels on the bus have fallen off.
You should put a disclaimer on before you do that.
I just thought we could just make it. There's so much reference to Eric Saade. Let's just have a boys only show. There we go, sorted.
So, Sean, as I was saying about Theoz, he's a little star, but obviously he sings Swedish. Swedish songs never do amazingly in the final, unfortunately. They do get downplayed compared to the English songs, but can you still see this doing something in the final, or will it just be sort of a slightly forgotten song come next week when you've got, say, 12 quite impressive songs against him?
I don't think it'll be forgotten at all. I think he'll do really quite well. I mean, that staging as well, wow. And it's simple, but really effective, with the screens and the dancers just moving the screens around the stage with a strobe lighting effect. It just looked massive. The production looked massive. Yeah, it was probably really quite simple to put together. I just thought it was brilliant. What are you two giggling at? ladies. Yeah, I think it'll do really, really well. Really well. So there, we're knobs on.
Moving on, if Jeanette has calmed down from her sudden hot flush there from a certain someone whose name I will not mention, shall we talk about Theoz, or as he's being known as the kid version of Danny Saucedo?
Yeah, but actually he is. He is like a baby Danny in a way. He's so adorable. Oh, I feel nothing but love for him. He's cute. He's like giggly. He can dance. He can sing. Great act. I love the staging, and I actually like the way they are dressed. Everything, it's according to his age, because you can't dress him in a suit or something. That wouldn't work at all. I think it's a great song. Really catchy. I think it's gonna be a summer hit in Sweden, and I see a really good future for him in Melodifestivalen. Give him a few years. Yeah, he can be a good contender for Eurovision maybe in 5 years. Well done, Theoz.
Okay, and Stuart, just wrap this up. What's the chat room saying, and what's your take on Theoz last night? And, you know, as Jeanette said, a potential winner in 5 or 6 years' time. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I do. I'm not the biggest fan of this particular song. I find it incredibly repetitive, and it kind of drives me mad. But I must admit, I can appreciate what he's doing at such a tender age of 16. I mean, my God, I wish I was doing anything quite near to that at the age of 16. That's is every young man's dream in Sweden right now, is to be on the Eurovision, well, be on the Melodifestivalen stage, let alone Eurovision stage. But, you know, you've got to give props to him. I think his vocal's very good. I mean, someone in the chat's just said his vocal was a bit off last night. I'm not sure it really matters. I think he's doing what he's doing. He's doing what Theoz should do at that age. And he's got a lot of fans. And, you know, there is that whole app bracket of age, or age bracket on app, or whatever you'd call it. So you're going to have the kind of is it 3 to like 16-year-olds, or 3 to 10-year-olds, or something like crazy like that?
3 to 7 or something.
yeah. I know, it's bonkers. So you're going to have a whole ton of votes for Theoz on Saturday. Let me tell you, do not, like Sean said, do not write this guy off. He won't win, but I think he will certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons. Can't speak tonight. And I imagine that he'll probably finish in the top half for sure. Good song. If you like repetitive songs, not really for me, but I can understand and appreciate why people like it. I can understand why people appreciate him. And in the chat room, a lot of love for Theoz. Probably not as much as there is for Eric Saade. There you go.
Stop it, Stuart. We're going to have 2 women faint live on stream. We're not
you,
liable
Stuart.
for that.
I love you.
Oh my God, I'm blushing.
You wait till I put the picture of me with my top off in a minute.
Oh, then it's gonna be no.
Where's the bucket?
And now we're going to move on to our last qualifier last night. Miss Cassie Opeia with I Can't Get Enough. She has got brighter shoulder pads, they're bigger, and she's found the other coloured paillettes to stick onto herself. She kind of looked like a Care Bear last night, and I loved every second of this. I don't care. She is fun, she is mad. My flatmate said she looked like she had super noodles as a hairstyle, which made me die on the floor laughing. Yeah, I think this song is brilliant. It's campus tits, and I love it. I'm so glad it's in the final, because that means I get to dance like an idiot to it next week for 3 minutes. But Sean, will you be dancing like an idiot to this in Friends Arena next week?
Damn right, I will. Absolutely love it. Cheesy as so much fun. 3 minutes of pure pleasure. It's a sight to behold, and it's like, oh, it's just fabulous. I love it. It's not going to win, let's face it, but it's a welcome ray of sunshine, and I think with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, that's what we need. 3 minutes of bonkers, upbeat, fun, cheesy dancing. That's what you want.
Brilliant. So, Aline, you just saw a comment there saying they loved Cassie, it made them smile. Did this make you smile? Were you happy to see this advance for your sister one you would have kicked out over Lillasyster?
I'm gonna get hate, but I hate the song. I think it's terrible. Like,
Stuart, can you kick her out again?
no.
With pleasure. Bye. Right, there we go. Sorted. The world is so much better without Alina in it. Oh, what a great show.
Let's let her finish. Sorry, Aaliyah. Go on, go on your rant about why this is awful.
Like, I had one show I wasn't kicked out of. Thank you, Stuart.
Yeah, well, you didn't know I was coming on, did you?
No. But, I mean, she's so an amazing person, I think, and her reaction of going to the final, I love it so much, but it's not my song, it's not my style. I don't have anything against her, but I hate it. But, yeah, I hate it. When it's crap, you have to say it's crap, had you not?
Well, let's go to Jeanette. Is this song crap, or are you going to say it's crap?
Actually, no. I think it's complete madness. Complete madness. But this is what we need in Melodifestivalen. Madness, happiness, colors, unicorns, whatever. It's a fun song. It's also not one of my favorites, but you can't help to just like dance along to it. It's listenable. It's not going to do well. I don't think so. Maybe 10th place in the final. But I think it's a great diversity, again, to have in the final. We need everything. Ballads, up-tempo, crazy stuff. We need it all. Next year, a bit of Latino also. So we'll see. But I like it. It's going to be fun. Bonkers.
Brilliant. And Stuart, wrap this one up. What are the chat rooms saying about Cassie? And she's a vibrant, colourful character.
Yeah.
How is she going to elevate this even more in the final? Because yeah, I don't know how, if she can, to be honest.
No.
I can only think of one way, because of course I am a choreography expert, Elliot. So what I'm thinking is, right, imagine, just think of the staging now, right? It's all colourful, isn't it? It's rainbows, unicorns. I think Asa said it best. Cazzi is so much fun. Unicorn emoji. And yeah, I just playing with the buttons. How could you elevate this even further? I don't know. Why don't they just throw a load of Skittles onto stage from above? Just literally shower in Skittles. Then you've got a ready-made rainbow. Sorted. Look, if Som du Vill and I Can't Get Enough are qualifying from a semi-final in Melodifestivalen, it tells you how bad some of the songs are. The song's fine, by the way. It's decent, it's up-tempo, it's poppy, but it hasn't got a cat and hell's chance of doing anything next Saturday night. It's going to be near the bottom, I'm afraid. Lots of fun. She's incredibly fun. You'd love to go out on a beer with her on a night out. I bet she's an absolute riot in the bars. But the song is just okay. Vocally, she's good. I love her energy. She's so happy and smiley. She's happy to be alive. And she's definitely happy to be in that Melodifestivalen final. The song's okay. I can't get too excited about it. Although some of the chat room absolutely love it.
You can't get enough. Is that
I can. I'm full.
Yeah, you can get enough.
I was going to say, at the fear of them offering Skittles like Cassiopeia next week, I'm going to need some more Swedish cider for next Saturday. And yes, this is actually Swedish, because festive. Anyway, that is all 8 songs. We've discussed all 4 that have advanced. We know our 12 that are going to the Melodifestivalen. And if you don't know who those 12 are, I don't know how if you've been watching these shows, but they are Robin Benson, Faith Gakembo, Anna Bergendahl, Theoz, Tone, John, Lundvik, Cassiopeia, Medina, Liamu, Clara Hammerstrom, Anders, and Cornelia. As it stands, Cornelia Jacob of Hold Me Closer is the bookies' favourite by a considerable margin to win next week, with Anders and Clara in 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Now, guys, and comment along as well, because I want to see this. Who do you want to win Melodifestivalen next week, and who do you think is going to win? And I'm going to start with Sean, because I'm mean.
Oh, it's okay. I'm well prepared. I've got all 12 in order. I want Anna Bergendahl to win, but she won't. I want her to win. But what I do think will win, I think it will be by a landslide, is Anders Bagger. I think it's a phenomenal song. I think the backdrop is stunning, and I just think it'll do really, really well. I think it's Anders who's going to chew in.
Okay, I'm going to come in next on this, just a bit for variety. I don't think Anders is going to win. He's very openly said about his stage fright, and I think that would be mean of Sweden to send him on his first time singing publicly as himself to a place where 200 million are watching. I would be terrified for him. So I don't think it's going to happen. He'll do well. I want Cornelia to win because I think the song is beautiful, and I genuinely think Sweden could win with that song. I do think marginally Clara could take it. But Clara will still do very well. And if she fixes her vocal next week, she probably will just take it because it's a very commercial song. So want Cornelia, think Clara's going to make it. Happy with either result, though. Stuart, where's your votes going? Mr. puts a tenner on it. Where's your kiss of death going?
Well, I'll start by telling you who I think will be top 3 next week. Top 3, and Anders Bagger's getting nowhere near that top 3, by the way, Sean. Sorry to break your heart. It will be Medina, it will be Liamu, and it will be Cornelia Jacobs in the top 3 next week. And I think it's about time we have a cultural reset in Sweden. And I think Hold Me Closer by Cornelia Jacobs is the song which Sweden need to send to Melodifestivalen this year. It's got everything, and it's a potential Eurovision winner. So Sweden, if you want to win Eurovision again, maybe you don't, send Cornelia Jacobs with Hold Me Closer. Phenomenal song.
Okay. Alina, come on, time to pledge allegiance. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win? Let's see this.
I think Cornelia is going to win, and who do I want to win? Except Eric Sade is sorry,
he's not in it.
It's Clara, but but then like a totally different costume because I hate the costume. But this song is so amazing, and it's already on my TikTok in Belgium, like hyping up. So I would love to see it on Eurovision, but with a different costume.
Okay, and the person who's probably vote matters the most, as we said, she can vote next week. She has a bit of the power. Jeanette, who are you going to be voting for to win next week, and who do you think will be representing your nation in Turin?
This is a really tough call this year. Unfortunately, I'm a bit skeptical that Sweden is going to do well in Eurovision. I just don't have a feeling that any of our songs are going to do like top 3 or top 5 in Eurovision. I just can't see it happening. That's I don't have, it really doesn't mean anything to me who wins. I don't really care this year because we're not going to do well. If we don't have Eric Sade, it's not happening. I think maybe Clara is going to do really, really well. And Stuart, Anders Berger is going to get shitloads of votes. Just suck it up. That's going to happen. I feel also sorry for him, but Swedish people adore him. And he is, a dog rescue person also, which makes you get a lot of votes just being pet friendly. So I have no answer for you. I'm totally clueless. Could be anyone. We shall see. It's going to be fun hearing all 12 songs. Then you can compare it to each other. When it's the all semifinals and heats, it's very difficult to compare them. So it's going to be a really exciting night, and we all have to tune in next Saturday. That's all I'm saying.
I think realistically it's between 4, but as I said, I don't know which of those 4. It's Anders, Liamu, Cornelia, or Clara are winning, realistically, I think. But as I said, don't send that. I know he's the biggest household name in Sweden at the minute, but don't send a man with stage fright onto a stage in front of 200 million people. It's a recipe for disaster, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't want him either. No.
Like, if you want to see another Blanche moment, you have to send him, because she was also like that fright. That scared. So,
but Blanche had a good song and didn't have Bambi on the backdrop.
No, but her eyes were like Bambi.
Yeah, I thought
it helped with the fragility of the song. Her fear kind of worked in her favor. Weirdly,
no, it was awful.
Stuart, what are the chat rooms saying? What are they saying? Are they as divided as we are? Because there's a lot of different names been thrown out between us 5, so it kind of shows we know nothing
Well, you know, I mean, as always, the ESC Fan TV chat group tend to agree with the person with the biggest knowledge, the master of ESC Fan TV. Of course, they're agreeing with me. Cornelia Jacobs is going to go and win Melodifestivalen last week. Goes without saying. However, there is a slightly frightening feeling because, I mean, I love John Ludwig, but I really don't think this is his year. I really don't think it is his year at all. Cornelia Jacobs seems to be the standout, although Georgia says she absolutely hates Cornelia's song. Wow. Back to you, Elliot.
You can't please everyone, and that's fine. And I must admit, for a split second, I forgot John's song even existed. Whoops.
It's kind of good in English. I heard the English version, and it's better in English, I think. But
Oh, that's a worry.
So similar to a Dutch song, and now it reminds me, Stuart, I forgot to make like video, but it's really similar to a Dutch song who was very popular in the Netherlands and in Belgium from a singer Marco Borsato, who is now in Bad Papers, but we don't talk about him. But it's really similar.
Sounds like a scandal.
Yeah, it is.
ooh, we need
Everyone's now leaving the show to go and Google that name.
Marco Borsato?
What has he done? No.
And before we go and do that, let me tell you what's on our show next week. So as I said, we're very busy next week. I know it's only the last week of national finals coming up, but we don't stop. We're not allowed a nap yet. Stuart won't let us. Send help. But no, we've got 3 shows next week. That's right, 3. We're going back to this madness of doing 3 shows a week. So on Thursday, we are talking about Portugal, Stuart's favourite, Festival de Canção. And who will they send on Saturday? I'll be honest, I've not heard a single bar of any of their entries, so I can't even hazard a guess who they're going to send. Not a Scooby. Then the following day, Iceland. Again, haven't listened to any of their songs yet. Really should. Being a bad Eurovision fan, I know. I'm sorry, guys. I've been busy. And then we're back here next Sunday discussing the winner of Melodifestivalen. When all is said and done, will it be Cornelia? Will it be Clara? Will it be Anders? We'll know by this point next week, and we'll either be happy or crying. If Cornelia hasn't won, Gustav will just be crying into his record leg or something because he wants a sad ballad to win, and he'll be so sad if it doesn't win, I know. Sorry, Gustav, I know you run well, but if Cornelia doesn't win, that's why he's not here next week. He'll be in mourning, no doubt. But that is all for today. Thank you so much, guys. It's been, as I said, I've been looking at the counter. Consistently, about 300 of you guys have been watching tonight. That does mean the world to us. That is phenomenal. We thank you so much for that. We are just a bunch of Eurovision fans who just come on camera and talk crap for an hour. I've just been winging it for half of this, I'm not going to lie, and just letting my panel talk for me. It's great. But before we go, it's time to say goodbye to a fabulous panel. A very big farewell to you, Sean. Enjoy Sweden next week. I'm not jealous at all, you lucky bitch.
I won't be here next Sunday because I'll be drunk somewhere, probably in a skip in Stockholm somewhere. Just before I go, I want to say a big hello. I know we love all our fans, but I met 2 people at Manchester Calling last week. They're the sweetest couple, husband and wife, Daniel and Tracy Rollerson. They came up to me and went, "Oh my God, you're Sean for ESC Fan TV," and they told me how they watch the show on the TV. They don't often interact with the chat rooms because they kind of watch it on the TV, but they very rarely miss any of our shows. They're massive fans and have been for a long time. So Daniel and Tracy, it was lovely to meet you. So yeah, all the best, and thanks for having me on, everybody. I'm not here next week, but I'll try and do a little bit of something in the arena on video and whack it over to you so you can play it. So that'll be fun. All the best and enjoy the final.
Brilliant. 2 things. Firstly, thank you for the love, Danny and Tracy, and I'm sorry if I've insulted any of your favourites ever. And Sean, just make sure you get on the flight safely. Drunk or not, just get on that plane. And don't stay in the skip too long. I don't know how clean Sweden is, but if they're like the British skips, don't stay in it too long. Say goodbye to a lovely Belgian panel. Alina, go and enjoy first thing about Eric Sardo now for the rest of the night with your drink.
I was gonna mention him again, so you know my mind is like prancing. No, thanks for having me. See you next week. And the real question on my mind and Janette's mind is: will we see Eric Sardo next week again? And will we have to talk about it?
God, don't she go on? My God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Alina, I'll be there.
Love you, Stuart. Love you.
It's a final between hate and love.
As always, it's a big thank you to our Swedish correspondents, like all the way from Malmö. Jeanette, thank you so much for coming on and just being the honest voice of truth. It's all things Sweden and Melodifestivalen.
I speak only the truth. That's how it is. You know, in US they have March Madness in sports, which is going on now, and here in Sweden we have Melodifestivalen Madness. That's the way it is. I want to say a big hello to one of the biggest fans of Eurovision Fan TV. His name is Lee, and he's located in United Kingdom. So I'm gonna send you lots of love and lots of kisses from the panel. We love you. We love when you comment. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you, Lee.
Can I just interrupt, Stuart? When am I the person to be on the buttons? Because I really want to kick you out now at one point.
You're not allowed to.
It's going to be on our show,
To be
Lena.
on the buttons.
And finally, a big thank you to my emergency stand-in co-host Stuart. Thank you so much. Said last minute jumping in, pushing the buttons for me, so I just get to sit here and talk. It's been great. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm delighted I could make it. I wasn't going to. I was going to have a night off, but yeah, it's nice to be here. By the way, people, as Elliot eloquently put, there's tons coming on over the next few weeks, and actually beyond then, because next Sunday's technically our last show of the national final season. We'll have a little bit of a break, week or so, and then we're back on Friday the 25th of March for our Eurovision review shows, culminating in a wonderful two-nighter ESC Fan TV Awards show some point end of April. So do not miss that. It was incredible last year. Can't wait to do that again.
Yes, and like I said, if you didn't watch it, go back in last year and watch the 2 nights. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, watch us in those Eurovision review shows making all sorts of wrong predictions, I'm just going to say, because we very rarely get it right. I remember several of us saying Cyprus was going to come top 5, and I was the only one said it was going to come mid-table, and look who was right. Yeah, it's my one I got right.
Once here and there, you're right.
I mean, yeah, I also get one national final right a year, and that was Czech Republic, and that's gone down the toilet since then, and that was December. So that's going well. But say, big thank you to everyone that's been watching. We will catch you here next Thursday for Festival de Can South, Iceland on Friday for Song for Kepnin, and like I said, next Sunday for the final Melfest Sunday of the year. And like I said, a little week off, and then we're back for Eurovision reviews. But until then, thank you so much for watching and commenting. It's been a blast with you all as always. But until next time, it's bye-bye for now, and bye for my panel.
Bye.